This is gonna be one of the most interesting fights on the card. It's similar to what do you call him? Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Kevin Borges. Is it Borges? Yeah, I think it's Kevin Borges. I'm not particularly sure. I could be wrong about this. For me, this fight is similar to Ronaldo Rodriguez and Kevin Borges, largely because I think the other guy is being underestimated, and this is one of the things I said when I was breaking down the fight. Raul Rosas Jr.'s previous fight at UFC Noche. A lot of people were predicting a first round finish for Raul Rosas Jr., and I was not in agreement with that particular point of view because I felt like who he was fighting at the time. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the guy, but I felt like who he was fighting at that particular time would give him a bit of problem. And a lot of people, obviously, as always, were calling me crazy. I mean, it's nothing new, but I have a feeling this is going to be a similar situation in a way. Here's why. I think Raul Rosas Jr. is very good at striking defensively. Raul Rosas Jr. is probably one of the most defensively sound strikers, or yeah, basically strikers. I mean, I know he's a wrestler. What I'm saying is, I feel like it's a little bit harder to hit him. Maybe it's obviously because he doesn't give you too much time to actually strike with him. Because the moment you even try to land a couple of shots, he's going to shoot for a takedown, and that gives him a massive advantage. So, irrespective of how he does it, he finds a way to not get hit a lot. If you're going to beat Raul Rosas Jr., you're going to have to outpace him, out cardio him, and which is not something that's going to be easy to do. So my thing is, Vince Morales also has decent ground game. I'm not gonna go as far as saying he's an incredible wrestler. However, I feel like he is decent enough on the ground in order to give Raul Rosas Jr. Problems as far as grappling exchanges. Um, so let me just break it down. Number one, the advantages that I feel like Vince Morales has. Obviously, the fact that Vince Morales has like a 3-inch reach in terms of striking, but that won't really matter because he's fighting someone who's primarily a grappler in Raul Rosas Jr. But that's an advantage if the fight somehow manages to stay on the feet, which I highly doubt, obviously, because Vince Morales also has a horrible takedown defense. So obviously, the fact that the fight might stay on the feet might not necessarily happen. However, I still feel like yeah, the 3-inch reach on the feet is going to be very, very, very important for Vince Morales if he can find a way to keep the fight on the feet because Vince Morales throws significantly more strikes than Raul Rosas Jr. Even though I feel like Raul Rosas Jr. is defensively better as far as striking, but you can only be so good. As long as someone throws like 100 punches, one will eventually land. So that's how I feel about this particular fight. I think on the feet, offensively, I favor Vince Morales. Defensively, I favor Raul Rosas Jr. On the ground, obviously, I think Raul Rosas Jr. is the better grappler. However, I don't think it's going to be that simple. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people might assume it's going to be because it's Raul Rosas Jr. Um, so, with that being said, my subscribers and I are picking Raul Rosas Jr. However, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not worried because, like I said, I feel like Vince Morales has a couple of advantages. Um, but Raul Rosas Jr. finishes fights, which is very important in a fight that's basically even. So, yeah, I think I've broken down every aspect of that particular fight. How do I think the fight is going to end? I'm leaning more towards a decision, to be honest. Um, I wouldn't call Raul Rosas Jr. a safe pick by any means. because, like I said, I feel like Vince Morales has some level of a ground game which can give Raul Rosas Jr.'s problems. Even on the feet, I think Vince Morales throws a lot of volume, which might be advantageous. For Vince Morales. Even though I feel like Raul Rosas Jr. is good defensively. So essentially, it'll come down to um, whether or not the fight can go to the ground and who's going to have top position, of which I think it's going to be Raul Rosas Jr. But I wouldn't be shocked if it goes to a decision. I don't know if it's going to finish Vince Morales, especially because I feel like Vince Morales is. I wouldn't say underrated, but he is not. Is not a can, like a lot of people like to make it seem. Unfortunately, I didn't break down the previous fight card, but I almost picked Gaul Fernandez, but for some reason I decided against it. Um, so I feel the same way about Vince Morales. I feel like a lot of people are underestimating the guy. But I mean, it is what it is. It everyone is entitled to feel how they want to feel until we see the fight and how it plays out. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this particular fight. If you want to rewatch the fight, or rather, if you want to rewatch the breakdown, it's going to be available in the live section of the channel. It's not long; it's like 6 minutes, so you can just rewatch it. Um, until then, I love and appreciate all of you, and join me on my watch alongs. So that we can have lengthy conversations. You can ask me whatever question you want to. So yeah, I do watch alongs, basically for every single card, unless maybe I'm not home, whatever the case is. So join me. I'm going to be doing these breakdowns on a daily basis. So yeah, if you missed the previous breakdowns, just go to the live section of the channel, and then you'll see every single breakdown that I've done so far. I think I've done 5 fights so far. So until I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll decide which ones I'm going to break down. Until then, I love and appreciate all of you. Even those who hate me, I still love you. Until next time, deuces.